Welcome to the Wandering Stitches Knitting Podcast. Here I am, wandering, trying to find a place to sit and knit at Trip Pond in Poland, Maine. It's my last session. I thought I'd get one more row lakeside. It's a little chilly out though. It's a little windy, but I'm not going to be deterred. I mean, just look at it. It's beautiful. The leaves are turning and the water is just gorgeous. So I'm going to sit here enjoying the last moment of knitting outside that I can. Thank you for joining me. I hope you grab your cozy drink, your crafty project, and can sit and relax while I chat with you about my crafty adventures. Thank you so much for following along on my hikes and my knitting outside. I hope you've been inspired to knit outside as well, or at least get outside and see what nature has to offer. It sure is lovely. And Maine has so much to offer. I just love being outside. But as it gets colder, I can no longer knit in the cold conditions. So this knitting podcast will take a different turn. I will continue to wander around the state of Maine in search of cozy places inside to knit. And I will continue to share my crafty projects with you in hopes to inspire you to continue doing what you love. Hello, welcome to the Wandering Stitches Knitting Podcast. My name is Jess, and this is Josie here, and we'd like to welcome you to our little corner of YouTube. This is where I combine my love of knitting and hiking and share my crafty adventures with you. I'd like to thank you, and if you are a returning viewer, I super appreciate you coming back and spending your time with me. And also, if you are a first-time viewer, I hope you like the content here, and I hope that you feel free to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. So it's been a couple weeks since my last episode, and I don't have a finished object that I completed. However, I do have a finished object that was gifted to me. So in the last episode, I had mentioned that my friend Corinne and I have decided to do just a knitted swap. And I made her a hat, and I showed you the hat that I had made. And I had made for myself and I made for her. So this is the hat. And we met this past weekend and we were able to do the trade-off. So I will show a picture, and she presented the socks that she made for me, which are the DRK Everyday Socks by Andrea Mowry. And she used the yarn that she purchased when we went on our knitting excursion up to Machias and Calais. I was participating in the 2023 Maine Yarn Cruise. That's where we have a passport and we go to the local yarn shops throughout Maine and collect a stamp and check out the yarn. And the yarn shop that she got the yarn from was so the yarn that she used for my socks came from Done Roving, and it was fortuitous that we went to the shop because they are actually probably closed now, because when we were there in August, she said that as of November they were going to close their brick and mortar shop and they were just going to do shows. And Done Roving Yarns does all the hand dyeing, and the colors are beautiful. And so Corinne picked up a pair of sock yarn, and I got a lovely pair of socks. And so I'm not much of a sock knitter, and I would say that after wearing these socks to work, I'm smitten with the socks. So I will insert a picture of the DRK everyday socks, and I am super appreciative. So that's the finished object that I have since the last time. I still am working on my gala scarf, and I'm still working on my deep winter coat that I have been making, and I will show them to you right now. So the gala scarf, I am making some progress. So this was the debut design from Amy Palco from A Meaningful Stitch. She had debuted her first pattern at the Scottish Yarn Festival, and I saw it and I thought it would be a great way to showcase all of the natural dyed yarns that I have been creating. So I have let's see how this is the right side, and it's a little wrinkled because it's in my little project bag. So this is the yarn that I had dyed with madder root. This is birch bark, and this is yarn with goldenrod, and then I modified the color for a green effect with water with iron. And so this is the second parallelogram that I will be making, and it is constructed all on a series of short rows. There is no picking up stitches. There is no seaming, which makes it a very easy project. Something that I take on the go and use to, as it like a kind of a relaxing project in front of the TV, watching podcasts, and social knitting. So that is my to-go project. And the other project, and if you've been watching, yes, this is taking me quite a while, but as you will see, I have been making some progress, and I feel like the end is coming. It's soon. So I believe the last time I saw that I showed this, I was working on the bottom hem, and now I have the, this is a cardigan, so I have the front, I don't know what you want to call it, the collar, and I have marked it out, so I will start the short row shaping for the folded collar part, and then it's just the sleeves. I am super happy with this. The yarn is Lion's brand Wool Ease, and it is black, and I love how the cables still pop with this yarn. It's super soft, it is very comfy, it's a nice dense garment, so I believe it will be meant for just the cold, bitter winters here in Maine. I have been wearing the one that I made for myself. I've been using that as a jacket right now in the fall. And it's just been a lovely cozy piece to wear on my commute to work and then when I get home. So it's super versatile. You can throw it in the wash and the dryer. So yeah, this is my project. And I am going to, once I get the sleeves going, then I will cast on for the night shift shawl, and that is going to be with all the yarns that I have accumulated from the 2023 yarn cruise from all the different shops. I went around and collected. I had a very specific list when I went into each shop, and I just said, show me where the main yarn is, and I was able to collect quite a variety of different colors, and I used my summer garden as an inspiration for the colors. And so I went on the yarn cruise with a very specific project in mind, so that way I could kind of keep myself focused as to what I purchased when I went into the yarn shops. And I hit every shop, 24 stops, and I am gonna go back and revisit the shops and maybe bring my night shift shawl with me as I work, because I think a couple of the shops probably have like knit-alongs or whatever, like social groups, and I thought it would be kind of cool. And so I will take you along and show you. And the first stop that I made on the yarn cruise and I made last week was the Fiber and Vine yarn shop, and that is in Norway, Maine. And I'll show you some footage. I work in Norway, so that is like what I consider my local yarn shop. And Kim is wonderful in there. She's always helpful. So in there, it's Fiber and Vine, so it's yarn and wine. So there's something for everybody, I guess. And yeah, so a lot of good finds in there. And like I said, it's always wonderful to go in there. She's super friendly and helpful, and she hosts just knitting groups. You can stop in and just sit down and knit. And when I went in there with my friend Sandy, Kim was conducting a knitting class, like a little mini knitting class with 2 people. So I was gonna do an interview with her, but I didn't want to interrupt her lesson. So Sandy, you will see, has taken on a new project. She has been a beginner knitter, and she did hats, she did a shawl, we did sort of a knit along for this. So she made one, and I made one, and then let's see, she's done beer mitts, and so she is finally ready to take on the project of a sweater. So Kim helped her pick out a sweater project, and she chose the first raglan pattern by Brooklyn Tweed, and she picked out a universal yarn. I love the color, it's just a green tweed. So I will include some footage of her casting on, and we can follow Sandy's progress with her first sweater project. And I am super helpful. She has me as a resource, and she has Sharon from the Fiber and Vine and Kim to help her along. And I did get some yarn envy. I think I'm going to go back when I'm done with this sweater, and I'm going to purchase a different color in the tweed and probably make myself a sweater. And yeah, the swatch came out beautiful, and we'll get into more details as the project moves along. So I have also been natural dyeing. I have collected a bunch of onion peels, just the yellow onions that I have been cooking with. And sorry if the camera was shaking, that is my cat who just walked through. So hold on. Stop! Don't do that. Come on. Come on. So I have been collecting onion peels from just cooking, and I had to collect 2 ounces. That's Cookie, my cat. So 2 ounces worth of onion peels, which is actually a lot. I was surprised. So probably 4 of the 1 pound bags of onions, if you would. So I collected that and I made a dye bath in the crock pot. Just let the onion peels simmer in the crock pot with submerged water. I think I did that for 4 hours and then got a beautiful color. And I had 3 balls left of the white yarn that I have been saving up for natural dyeing, and so I just did one dye bath and then a series of consecutive dunks, and I will show you the colors. And I pre-treated the yarn hanks with alum and then let them dry, and then dunked them into the onion bath. And I am very happy to say that they are holding the color very nicely. So I just did a final rinse with them, and I'm very pleased that no dye leaked out into the water. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then I will cake that up, and then I will add that into the gala scarf. And they're just beautiful. They remind me of the last bit of color that the leaves are hanging on to for this fall before it turns to gray and white winter. The last time I left you, I had mentioned that I set up my loom, or I didn't set up my loom. Well, after I got done filming the last episode, I was inspired to warp my rigid heddle loom with some white cotton yarn, which I did, and it still continues to set up, but I haven't started weaving yet. So I will, I'm really trying diligently to get this other project finished. So hopefully I can get it done by mid-December, my winter coat, sweater, cardigan thing finished. So that way I can move on to some other project. I will be weaving some towels for some gifts. I don't know how many towels I will be making, but I think I set up the loom to give me 4 towels. So we'll see. And then, yeah, time is going by pretty quick, so I better get on it. But it doesn't take me very long. It probably takes me about a weekend to get 4 towels done if I really diligently sit down and do it. I really love weaving for that purpose. Like, it's just a quick, instant gratification of a project using yarn. So, yeah. So I am doing the weaving, the natural dyeing, the knitting, and I haven't been doing a lot of hiking. I think I had a pretty good run this summer of hiking and knitting. So I will take you on adventures of places where I can go knit comfortably, and like coffee shops or yarn shops. And I'll tell you, I didn't get any footage of the last knitting session that I had with Corinne. We typically will meet at Panera, and I'll get a snack, and we'll each get a cup of tea, and we'll have a pretty decent session in Panera knitting. And usually it's pretty quiet, but this last weekend was pretty busy, but still we were able to have a good time. And I think that's it for my crafty adventures since the last time I had an episode. And it will probably be another couple weeks with the holidays coming up, and my husband's 50th birthday is this week, so I will be we'll be heading to Florida for that to celebrate, and then Thanksgiving, and then it's December. I can't believe this year has flown by so quickly. I am already thinking about what I want to do for 2024. I am already thinking about some sweaters, and I have to revisit my books that I had mentioned way back when in the first episode. I know there was some projects that I was going to pull from some books, and I'm really intentionally trying not to buy new patterns, but to just focus on what I have in my stash and in my book collection. So that will be on deck for 2024. And who knows, maybe I will do some winter hiking, and but I don't think I'll be doing any knitting outside, but I'll still show you some footage because there's some really beautiful places to snowshoe and hike. I'm really looking forward to wearing all of my warm woolly sweaters and making new warm woolly sweaters. And I am really thankful for all of those who comment, like, and subscribe. I super appreciate you spending your time and space with me. I hope that you find this relaxing and that you are inspired to do the things that you love. Until next time, keep doing what you love. Welcome to the streets of Norway, Maine. I believe this is the last town in America where you can park on the street for free. Join us as Sandy and I head to the Fiber and Vine. Sandy has to buy some more needles, and I believe she's got some questions about the pattern. So here we are. It's half yarn and half wine. She has a beautiful shop here. You can buy all sorts of notions, and it would have been smart of me to look at the yarn, the particular yarn that she has, but I did not. She has other kits as far as embroidery and felted wool. Here's the wine that she's got. There's the embroidery, like I had said. I will show you, here are the needles and the notions, and I think it's just a lovely shop. I love the feel of it. When we were in there, she was providing a class for 2 new knitters. And here's some more of the yarn that she has in stock, with plenty of samples to look at. And sorry if it's dizzy, but here are some of the kits that she's put together, and there is the night shift shawl. And I just love the stained glass. So let's head over to Sandy's and watch her cast on. I just love the new cast on excitement. So we'll go vicariously through Sandy's new project that she has taken on, a sweater, her very first raglan. And she wants to show off her swatch that she got on point. The gauge was perfect, with 7 US needles, with the yarn. It's universal yarn, and the gauge is 20 stitches per 4 inches, and I'm trying not to interrupt her, but I am showing her how to do the long tail cast on. And there is the yarn. And we did a hack where we had 2 balls of yarn with the long tail cast on. So you have 2 balls hooked, and that way you never have to run out of the long tail. And the pattern is by Brooklyn Tweed, And it is perfectly set up so that the chart is very easy to read per size, and it will help you figure out how many stitches to cast on, and you can fill in the blanks according to what your size is. And I would highly recommend this pattern for any beginner knitter who wants to knit a raglan sweater. And we'll follow along here with Sandy's journey of her very first sweater. So I hope you enjoyed this little vicarious knitting cast on. It's always fun to help people with their first projects and the excitement that they get when they see that they can make their own garments. And Sandy's a great student. She's always very enthusiastically excited about every step. Thanks for watching.